Hey, this is the most interesting story to me because it continues a theme that I've been sort of hammering and I'm obsessed with, which is the inevitable takeover of the United States by China in a very real way. As we've heard over the last few weeks, there's been a bit of saber rattling, if you could call it that, with that confrontation between the U.S. Navy vessel and the Chinese Navy vessels. There was also a statement made by the president of China saying that he's not real clear about where the U.S. economy is going. He hopes that we can stay above water because he didn't quite say this, but he would hate to have to take action. He always also went out of his way, the defense minister of China, to say that this stuff that happened in the ocean out there was for real, that this is our territory and don't with us. And now we find a guy named Ray Qinggang, and he apparently is the face of Chinese media. This is a young guy. He's 31 years old. He comes from the Chinese capitalist mold, though he is very patriotic or nationalistic in the neo-capitalist communist China way. He's trying to raise the profile of China because he feels like it's gotten sort of a bad rap for a number of things like human rights violations, horrendous pollution, mistreatment of workers, perhaps putting poison into babies' milk. I mean, there's a lot of things that China could be taken to task for, but this guy wants to put a new face on it. And he's on television there. And he has a TV show that was on, I believe it's called, what was that show called, Brendan? Do you remember?
It was on their state-run channel, CCTV.
Right, yeah. Well, the deal is that he's looking to branch out to America. He wants to get, now the Chinese state owns the media outlets, and they see that it's part of the propaganda ministry. But he's trying to encourage them, and they want to create a CNN or a BBC, an English-speaking, Chinese, 24-hour-a-day sort of financial entertainment station. And this is the guy that's going to spearhead it. And we got some footage. He does speak English. He's well-educated, and he is slick. And he wants to be China's face on the airwaves to bring in some of the younger and some of the American viewers to sort of start respecting the new bosses. Let's have a look.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Biz China on CCTV International from Beijing. I'm Rich Hengang. Thursday marks World Consumer Rights Day. To commemorate the event, we have a series of stories, including an interview with attorney Edward Lehman later on in the show on how you can best protect your rights as a consumer in China.
Wow, Snoozeville. If he wants to play in America, I mean, there's other stuff on Chinese television. They've got to create some type of hybrid, perhaps, something that gives a little more thrust, a little more zip, a little more pow for the American viewer. There is stuff on Chinese television, much like American television, that Americans just love. Let's have a look at some of that.
做好，今天站低罩杯，低罩杯，持球一奔。计时开始，预备开始。阿北从下，变成轻如刀割，来，手放开。
Now, fortunately for Americans, we already have a model that really brings these two things together, and I think you're all familiar with it. And maybe Ray Qinggang can just look towards this for an answer on how to. It is
time! It's time for the lightning round, Mad Money! Now!
There you go. The model exists. Go for it.